Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm Quinn. This is my second video with Canoe Club. Been working at the store for about 7 months now. Just to give you a little bit of context, it's now officially winter here in Boulder. Outside we got some major snow flurries going on. I picked a few things that are not only like my closet essentials, but things that I kind of rely on throughout winter. So first off, we're gonna start with this trusty Nanamica jacket. This guy is one that I've had in my wardrobe for about 3.5 years now. Initially, my dad got me this for Christmas and I was super stoked, and it's a size large. It's actually a bit too big for me. What ended up happening is I've been shopping here for a while and I knew Paige. She said that she would take it and actually hem it for me. So what she did is she ended up taking it and chopping it and adding all of these super dope little Boro details, just kind of along the whole rim of the jacket. The jacket now is kind of a little bit thrashed, which in my opinion makes it better. If you flip it inside out, as most Nanamica stuff can, it's got this OG kind of military pattern going on. So yeah, got that guy. Second piece we have here is another kind of sentimental one. This is a 60s French Chore in black, which I feel like you never really see. It's got the blue stitching throughout, which is really interesting, and I'm not sure if it was for the style or if it was because they only had blue thread. It's got kind of some little details of wear going throughout, and the front placket, which I really like. I think it tends to modernize some vintage pieces. Funny story about this guy is my dad and I, we both got into vintage clothing kind of around the same time. He and I both found two of these same jackets, one without front placket and then one with. I ended up growing out of the one that I got, and a couple years ago I went into his closet and swapped them. I don't think he knows yet because he's got too many jackets, but yeah, so this guy's a staple for me as well. Third piece we got is more of a recent one. This one's about a year old. Got this guy in Japan. This is an Presse jacket, which is super dope brand. You can kind of compare them to Harrow in the way that they mix modern and vintage in a really fresh way. This guy's got a pretty standard shoulder, a little bit slouchy. I bought it a bit big for me so that I could layer under it, make it more of a wintertime piece because I've got other type ones that kind of fit under stuff. This guy's typical like selvage ID and everything. I just love the details, and the denim on this is a really dark indigo, so it's taken forever to fade. Yellow stitching is really important to me on these. I don't really like the gold stitching all that much. But yeah, this guy's a hardy staple that I tend to wear a couple times a week, I think. So that wraps up the jackets. And next, move on to a sweater. I've got too many sweaters to count, so I'd just pick one that I wear a lot. Recently, I've gotten a little bit snobby about knitwear and started wearing a lot of cashmere if I can get my hands on it for cheap. This sweater is a cashmere blend and a recent thing for W.I.P to start doing. It's a really good piece though. It does not have a raglan sleeve, so I think without a raglan you can kind of tend to wear it more as an outerwear piece, whereas a raglan tends to layer under a bit better since the shoulder's less pronounced. But this guy has that nice cropped body, fits a shorter guy like me really well. Super thick, heavy knit, but still airy because of the loose bottom on it. Yeah, this guy's super solid. Then into shirting. This is another piece that I picked up in Japan. It was definitely my cheapest purchase by far. Brief story on this guy. I was in the room and my mom was out hanging around town, and we were in a little town called Kanazawa, and I saw this on Instagram, and it's actually a Lawson store collaboration with Freak Store, which is a popular multi-brand retailer in Japan. So it's just like a super simple cotton flannel, literally like from pretty much a supermarket, and it does the job super well. It has a big back sweep and then a little bit more cropped in the front. So I think you get an interesting proportion out the bottom of a jacket if you like layering, kind of an opposite nature. There's not much more to say about this other than fits well and I like the color. Our other shirt that I chose is this William Frederick guy. This was a weird kind of slept on piece in the shop. Came in over the summertime, and William Frederick always does really limited run stuff, and it's kind of hard to get your hands on and actually feel. But I'm not totally sure what the blend in on this guy, but it's definitely a linen cotton. When I first saw it, it reminded me of like a 40s Yankees jersey, kind of like that yellowish messed up tint to it. And then with the black kind of pinstripe, it's super subtle, but you can actually see the individual stitches, which is a really nice detail. The shoulder on this guy and the back yoke is really large, So it kind of sits off the back of your shoulders and plays really well open with a t-shirt on. Similar to the Chore coat, it has that front placket, which I love. Again, just making things sleek and layer well. But yeah, this guy fits really nice. Got these super big armholes, super fun piece to wear during the summer and layer in the winter. Onto pants. This is probably my favorite pant I've ever owned. These guys are a pair of 80s vintage Armani pants. Armani was and is still known for really high quality suiting. I found these guys at a thrift store for no money at all, and probably my best find ever. It's a tropical wool, which is a really interesting fabric. So typically when people think of wool, they have this like hot kind of itchy claustrophobic thing in their mind. And this kind of wears more like a merino wool. So like if you see this, it's really flowy, tends to get kind of crinkled, and that's a feature that I like. It's got just a single pleat right here on both sides. So these are like 4 sizes too big for me. So I'll belt them up, and it kind of almost creates like a triple pleat because of the belt. Because of the wool, they're insulating. So in the summer, they'll kind of keep you cool. In the winter, they'll keep you warm. My final pair of pants are the OrSlow Granddads. I've had a lot of different OrSlow pants in my arsenal. 105s, Granddads, Super Dads, a couple fatigues. These are definitely by far my favorite. I like a high rise. I think it's super comfortable, especially when it has a buckle back like this. It tends to just make a pant sit well and fits your butt nice. So these guys I've had for a while now, and they're actually made of a 10-ounce denim, so it's really light and it has like a really nice drape similar to the Armani pants. I like how these guys are kind of styled off of 40s, 50s Levi with a leather back patch right there. Regular selvage ID, a little bit different than the regular OrSlow ones though, because it's got that thick, almost pinkish one. And then they've got the selvage detail on the pocket right there. Just like a faithful reproduction of an old pair of jeans. Definitely a little bit more accessible than actually finding a pair of 40s Levi's. Those will run your pockets. To touch on accessories, this is my work bag. So I've got a Frismworks bag that I wear for school, and it's like a big duffel bag that has a full body wraparound. This guy does a similar thing, nice and slouchy, and I've had it for years, so it just gets all distressed, and I'll bring it to the lake back home in Seattle or the creek here in Boulder and throw all my stuff in it. A couple things I've got inside. These are my favorite sunglasses. I am a prescription glasses wearer, so kind of need them to drive, and gets hot and sunny here in Colorado. So I've got these brown JMM guys. These are my favorite pair of glasses I've ever owned. And the build quality is super solid. I feel like I could throw these off a roof and they'd be fine. So yeah, got my prescription in these and they do super solid. You can tell how long I've had them from the veg tan little case holder, how dark that's gotten. So for shoes, these are the Paraboot Michael. Had these for almost 2 years now, and they are like the most comfortable and resilient leather shoe I've ever owned. I've had a lot of different leather shoes, and they can range from comfortable all day to terribly painful. The interesting thing about the Michael is they were actually made as Paraboot's white collar shoe. So it was inspired to be for architects, doctors, nurses. These have the Paraboot sole on them because I haven't had to have them resoled yet, despite wearing them almost every day. And it's a super spongy rubber. They make it in-house, so it's their own proprietary blend. The leather is just broken in super nice, and even on a winter day like this, because of the way that the top is sort of almost gusseted and it's got the full 360 welt, no water's getting in. Yeah, so those guys are great. Other honorable mentions would just be my jewelry. These are my 2 rings that I wear daily. This is a 1940s ring that I found in an estate sale. It was a gift from my parents when I turned 16, and it is onyx in the center there. And then it's like a really weird 15 karat gold, which they used to make in the 40s. This guy is a signet ring from my grandpa. His name was David, and we were certainly not royalty, but this is a English family crest that he actually made up for himself. He wanted to feel like a knight sometimes, so he made this ring, and he had huge fingers. So it actually says Sir D right there, which is fun. When I got this ring from my dad, it was like a size 14 pinky, which is insane. And I have pretty small, like thin fingers, so I had to get it sized down quite a bit. Otherwise, I wear a necklace with a pendant that my dad made for me. Kind of reminiscent of a Goros. Yeah, this stays on me every day, and I'll accessorize with other stuff, but that's kind of the daily stuff. And then the earrings, which I've had since I was 12. So yeah, that's it. All right, well, thanks for watching, y'all. These were my essential clothing picks from my wardrobe. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, do all that jazz. Thanks for watching.